What's up, Trash Talkers? Welcome to your Thursday edition of UFC and NFL Pick'em. I'm going to cover some things here real quick before we get started. All right. Bill's a fister. We've already been over this. We don't like him, but he's here as a friend today. He's here as an ally because this fight card sucks. So he's literally joined teams with the 11 Bravos once again to give you degenerate gamblers something to do this weekend and to bet. Now, I'm going to give you my NFL picks, and we'll go a little bit more in depth with those. I am 4 for 4 on my locks, so pay attention. It's tough to do in the NFL, so you might as well just say I'm the greatest, and that's okay. But a big shout-out to our sponsors. I got 10th Mountain Whiskey again today. Last time that proved pretty well, but I didn't know the difference between a penguin and a flamingo, so we'll see what this turns into. Anyways, welcoming Bill the Mad Russian, who is back home from NTC, one of the buttholes of the United States. And we got Trigger Joe Britson flying that proud Michigan flag, which we could talk about Tom Brady in a second. Which
real soon too.
Yeah, real soon.
They're going to be playing some ball.
Minutes. So this UFC fight card is not good, and I will let the guys explain that. I'll tag Dana White in it and tell him that he sucks, but he won't pay attention or respond. One of these days he will. We will be a force to be reckoned with because these two guys are picking over 90% when they agree. So here we go. The first fight.
You're skipping over something real quick, Nick. You talk about how I'm joining in with you guys. You seem to have skipped over last week's fight card.
Here it comes.
And you guys kept talking about, Joe looking over the edge and the champion. Who was it that won 100% last week and is back in the lead?
Yeah, that's you. That's you. I was gonna wait for a more predominant fight because people to give you more credit. But if you want to take it now, that's fine. Take your credit now.
Everybody knows who the king is.
Yeah.
I'll take credit. I'll take his credit. Bill picked a perfect card last weekend. And in case anybody of importance that has money in that area of the country looks us up, suckbags in Vegas are paying people to pick 65%. I went 4 for 5 and lost. I went 4 for 5 and lost to. So when people think it's arrogance, when people think that we're, they're just talking trash. No, I firmly believe I'm the best UFC picker in the world. And I firmly believe that if Bill and I pick together, we'd pick better than any two guys on the planet. Talent. It's just whether you get recognized or not. And yes, we are better than you. Anybody in Vegas that wants to come on, we're better than you are. Guaranteed.
I like it. So let's get to
100% fact.
Let's get to the first fight where 3 of these fighters don't even have pictures. That's how awesome this fight card is. But let's make it a little quick here with Zalal 10-2. Whatever that guy's name is, Tybura. Sounds like he's got diarrhea. 8-0. So who's going to take this one? We'll go with the king of battle. We'll go with Bill on this one.
Okay, yeah. So again, for the trash talkers. Yeah, Joe and I do have an insane win percentage. We are beating all the top sports guys for ABC, NBC, ESPN, Vegas. We are slaughtering them all.
This isn't a fluke.
But again, this card is not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this card is not. These picks are for the gamblers only, not for our little bet we got going on. But we did do some research. Joe and I were on the phone for about an hour today, solely to help you gamblers out. So Zalal and Tybura, both the new guys. I think one has one fight in the UFC. The other one's brand new. We agreed on Tybura submission, going with the first round because if you look up Tybura's record on the lower fighting organizations, I think only one time he's been out of the first round. He's submitted everybody with some form of a choke in the first round.
So he grabs the neck early.
Yeah. So he's going to go for the neck earlier. So we're going with the Tybura submission first round.
All right, very nice, very nice. The second fight is Aspinall at 8-2 versus Bordeaux at 8-1. So Joe, take us away on this one.
Okay, once again, competitor with no picture. So Bill and I had to do our little bit of digging, and Aspinall is what's his record? He's 8-2. Okay, he's 8-2. One of those losses is disqualification by elbows. The other one's a heel hook. You get caught in a heel hook, it's over with. He had by first round knockout. So Bill and I went with him against his brother, who usually fought at 205. He's more of a 205er, and this kid is an animal. I mean, he's a huge favorite in Vegas, so you'd have to put him on a parlay, but we got him by first round knockout.
All right, there you have it with that fight. Now we'll go to the next one where you got Perez at 12-3, who's a plus 140 to Duplessis. There's a 14-2. So Bill, take us on that fight.
Again, that's a couple of no-name fighters that took a lot of digging for both of us. But we came to Duplessis in a decision. It's really a ground guy versus a striker guy, I believe. And they're both coming from, again, new organizations. One of them's their first fight in the UFC. Yep. And anytime you see a bunch of Vegas odds where it's like a 120 versus a 110, even Vegas doesn't want to bet on this fight because they have no idea who these two guys are. Yeah. So just off of basic digging
that a lot.
Yeah, super early fights. No. We're going with Duplessis by decision.
Wish I could give you more bikes. Yeah, recap the first fights. You got Tybura, Aspinall, and Duplessis, right? That's what we're going with. All right, so let's go to the next fight, and you got Rothwell versus Tybura. So Rothwell's at 38-12. Good God, how does he have a nose left? And 19-6 Tybura. So, Joe, give us a rundown on this one.
It's a good question about Ben Rothwell. I tell you, the reason why he does is Ben Rothwell is maybe one of the most underrated boxers at heavyweight there's ever been. He is a vicious striker when he brings it. And when he brings it, he's an animal in there. He's a very, very big heavyweight. And the only times I've ever seen him but when his game's on, I'm taking Rothwell. He's been there longer. We're going Rothwell. TKO.
Yeah, Joe, you're cutting out a little bit. So you said Rothwell at what?
Can you got me now?
Yeah, I got you, but you're freezing a little bit up.
But Rothwell by second round knockout.
Rothwell by second round knockout. All right, so the next match, Barboza 20-9 versus Americani 16-4. Was it the Finnish Flash? What do we got going on here, Bill?
All right, so Americani, typically a grappler guy. He likes the ground game. Barboza's been doing this a while. He's got losses, but they're good losses. One was a KO by Gagey, 2 submissions by Donald Cerrone, and what was the other one? Tony Ferguson. So his losses aren't bad losses. He's lost to some huge guys. Barboza's, it all depends on which Barboza shows up. Joe, you're a boxing fan. Barboza almost reminds me of James Toney. He fights to the caliber of the dude he's fighting. So if the other guy's trash, he's going to fight like trash. If the other guy's great, he's going to fight great.
Or like, oh my goodness, Arturo Gatti.
Yeah.
Same way. Go to war with somebody, but
Barboza, second round TKO. I think Barboza's going to come out. He's got some heavy hands. And I think if he connects with Americani coming in, he's going to get him, and it's going to happen eventually. So we went with Barboza, second round TKO.
Very nice. And on the main card, the championship fight, the main event, you got Morales at 23-6 and Marias at 23-6-1, and Sandhagen at 12-2. Joe, take us through that one.
Yeah, this is another one where I don't agree with Vegas. They got Sandhagen as a small favorite. Moraes has been to war. I mean, he's fought Henry Cejudo in that list, and he's still 28. He's still 23-6. He's at 23 victories. He's got a lot in the UFC. He's been kid. I get it. He's one of those guys they're pushing to promote, but they're putting him in there with a grizzled veteran who's been to war, and Moraes is going to grind it out and win by decision.
All right, so what did you guys come up with as far as parlays or locks?
Aspinall's a definite lock.
I go with Tybura as part of the parlay. Oh, man, this card's so bad. I'd go with, obviously, Aspinall's a lock. And then I'd go with Tybura and Barboza. I was going to do a parlay.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I'd throw Rothwell in there too. because I think he understands this is pretty much it for him. If he doesn't come out and perform like he can, he's not going to get fights anymore. So I think he's going to come out and destroy this kid. He's a spotlight ranger. He likes performing on them small cards. You put him in the big scene.
I can agree with that, actually.
Barbosa is too. That's why I'm expecting him to come out and look like a beater. And then they, put him in against Gaethje. He gets hit once and he's out. So.
All right. Yeah. So there you have it. Remember, Bet MGM Grand, Bellagio, ESPN. These guys are killing your experts. All right. And not only are they killing them, we don't get paid for it. All right,
I'm not really sure why it's free anymore.
Yeah, we're a bunch of wounded warrior guys on here picking fights because we know what fighting's like. So how about you get some real warriors on your show, all right, and then we'll pick your fights. We'll get you guys some money. So if you want to win some money, again, this fight card sucks. That's why this is not part of their contest. But this doesn't sound like a card you really want to bet on if it's your first time. But if you're a degenerate, gambler,
I'm posting, hey, guess what? Me and Bill went 6 for 6. Don't be surprised because not tomorrow, but obviously Sunday. I'm serious. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't being wrong on anything. So every time there's a surprise, but 5 for 6, I'm almost guaranteeing it.
All right, now I'll let you guys shoot some holes in my NFL picks. I had a rough week last week. I was 10 of 14. Well, not terrible. But I did hit my locks. I got screwed over by the Jets, who I'm redemption because they didn't do what I thought they were gonna do. They didn't pull the trigger on it, but they're doing it this week. So we'll get to that later. Now, for those of you watching this that don't usually watch this, but you pay attention to our page, a lot of triggered pansies about the NFL. All right, I'm gonna keep telling you. I'm going to keep telling you the same right that I have to watch it and like it is the same right for you to hate it. So you blame the left and then you blame the right. We're not getting in politics here. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. If the people on the page are talking about NFL, don't get on there and scream about how you want to carry guns and you hate gay people and, Trump's the best. Like, sorry. Like, it doesn't affect us. All right? If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. All right. If you don't like what some other group is doing, don't watch it. It's just that simple. It's America. We all don't have to think the same. It's a beautiful aspect.
Yeah.
All right.
That being said, and you got a free education this week.
Yeah. You're freezing
because
up.
Honestly, we were just having fun with that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Again, don't bring everybody else around you down. All right. If there's somebody posts, I hate the NFL, then get on there and rant about it. All right, but when the post is, hey, man, let's talk NFL, don't get on there and bring everybody down. You suck for that. All right, you suck. All right, it's that simple. You're a triggered pansy. We don't like you. All right, so anyways, tonight the game starts in about 19 minutes. You got Tampa Bay at Chicago. All right, now everybody knows I hate Chicago because nothing good comes from Chicago. It's the worst city on the planet. All right, like they're just terrible. I think they average about 10 to 12 shootings a day. On the weekends, it goes up.
I'll second that.
Touche.
And I covered it in one of my soapboxes that the military actually sends some of their task force guys there to train, because it's a war zone. So good luck, Tom. Don't get shot in Chicago. Anyways, Tampa Bay was my lock last week, and that little last-second field goal got me there up by 4, got me up by 7, got me that half a point that I needed. That was huge. So Tom Brady, and that's going to come into play later, but Tom Brady's going to take Chicago out. I would take Tampa Bay at -3.5. Chicago's a +3.5. It's not one of my locks because it is a Thursday night game. So the older guys have trouble playing in them, and it is a home game in Soldier Field. So could be close, but Tampa Bay is probably going to beat the crap out of them. Now, Carolina at Atlanta. Atlanta is a 1-point favorite without having a win yet this year. Whew. Okay. Atlanta, their defense is broken. They have guys playing in the secondary, I think, from Georgia Tech. I think that they're illegal. They're not even supposed to be playing. I don't know where they pulled them up from. The Packers decimated them and took out their starters. That's not a big deal. But Atlanta's a favorite, and that's kind of a trap. But Teddy Bridgewater, he wins football games. It's what he does. So Teddy Bridgewater is going – that's a lock for me, all right? Carolina at Atlanta. +1, bet it. All right, that's going to happen.
Bridgewater plus run CMC. I'll take their offense over Atlanta's, and I'll take anyone's defense over Atlanta's.
Even if Atlanta gets hot with Julio Jones and all those guys, they can't stop anybody. So it's just going to be brutal. Then we got Cincinnati at Baltimore. Now let's talk about Lamar Jackson. Now, those of you who follow the Big Earl on Facebook, all right, it might seem like I'm a hater of Lamar Jackson. I am 100% not a hater of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is top 3 football players every Sunday on the planet on the field. Period. Okay? He's not a great quarterback yet. But that's not a slight on him. It's just the position. All right? He's a football player. This is why I bet on Cam Newton all the time, because Cam Newton's a football player, and I've won a lot on Cam Newton. All right? Lamar Jackson, this is his game that you'll see the Lamar cult come out, and they'll go nuts about his 500 total yards of offense because he's playing the Bungles. All right. He always destroys the Bungles. So this is another lock. That's 2. All right. This is going to be a crazy week. And they are minus 13. Baltimore is going to beat them by 20. All right. And they're going to do that because Lamar just eats them up. And this is where he gets his 7 touchdowns. This is how he gets his MVP, because he beats up on the little guy. All right. He had a horrible game last week. All right. He had a horrible game against the Chiefs because those were good teams. So we'll see. But that's a lock. Baltimore's going to take it out. Jacksonville at Houston. All right. This is a weird game. You got Vegas has Houston minus 5, favored over Jacksonville. I'm going to take Houston on this one. Not a lock, but I'm taking Houston because they fired the coach. Tanner Port, one of your red legs that, he's struggling every Sunday watching those games. And, I feel for him, but maybe the coach was the cancer. So you'll see it there. And I'll take that kind of
firing that coach is the best decision they've made in a long time.
We'll see. I mean, if they don't score a point and get run out of their own house again, then maybe it wasn't the coach. Maybe it was something else. So, but I have a feeling it was the coach too. Yeah.
That higher begin with.
All right. Now we got Las Vegas at KC. KC is minus 12. All right. Vegas is giving them a 12-pointer. Now, I like Vegas. They're not playing very well. They made a lot of mistakes against Buffalo last week. Should have beat Buffalo, but they made a bunch of mistakes. I think they had 3 straight drives with turnovers. It was the Raiders. It's what we're used to seeing with them. However, they're not going to bounce. This is a terrible game to try to have a bounce back with. The Chiefs are hot. They're running. Mahomes is the best quarterback since, Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is playing young again, but yeah, he's dangerous. Patrick Mahomes is too dangerous. If he's healthy, you can't pick against him. So KC's taking that one. Arizona at the Jets. Okay, Jets, this is it. This is your game. They're starting Joe Flacco. All right. Joe Flacco came in the game last week and was 2 for 2 for 27 yards, and they took him back out. All right. I don't understand it. Joe Flacco's not a great quarterback. He's a Matt Ryan. All right. He's a guy that I'm going to throw the ball to who I'm supposed to throw it to. Maybe it'll be accurate. Maybe it won't, but it's going to the right spot. All right. Joe Flacco is going to beat Arizona. Not a lock, but they're a 7-point. I picked Arizona in one of my money leagues, but with the spread, I'm taking the Jets. I think it's going to be a close game. Jets are plus 7. Philly at
Plus
Pittsburgh.
7?
Yeah, 7. At home.
Absolutely.
But, home games don't really matter right now because there's no crowd, but it's
right.
Jets are going to take it. So Philly at Pittsburgh. We got Pittsburgh minus 7. I almost made this a lock, but Philly might have some momentum. They're not going to win, but I think it's going to be a tighter game. But Pittsburgh is going to take that one. Don't sleep on Big Ben and that offense that they have, and their defense is shockingly really good. So watch out for
drafted a Michigan man. That's what happens.
Yeah,
This is the real deal.
Then you got this is the game that's ugly to pick. It's going to be the best game of the week. It's Buffalo at Tennessee. All right. In my money league, I took Buffalo. All right, but I wouldn't bet on this game. I wouldn't touch it. Jared Allen is having an MVP year already. He's huge. He grew up throwing in Wyoming with that wind and that terrible weather, and he's perfect in Buffalo when that weather gets bad. That's why they drafted him. But he's got more rushing touchdowns than Lamar. He's got more throwing touchdowns than Lamar. He's a better quarterback, and that defense is solid. But Tennessee's got a great coach, and he's off of Bill Belichick tree, and it's just difficult. So we'll see. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking the better quarterback. That's what I do when I don't know who's going to win. I take the better quarterback. Then you got Rams at Washington. All right, I would take Washington here with the points, but if you're picking in a money league where you're just picking the game, you obviously take the Rams. All right, the Rams are going to win this game, but the Rams are a little banged up, and Washington is they just eke out. They beat the spread, so you got to watch out. Washington just has a funny way of scoring a couple garbage time touchdowns to get within 3 or 4. Don't know what it is, but they got that going. And again, as part of their Haskins, the quarterback, just takes like 2 quarters to get remembers that he's playing football, and then he starts throwing BBs. I don't know. Maybe they should just have him go out there and play a simulated game for 2 quarters. That's what I would think.
Quarterback, Nick, he will be an afterthought in 3 years. Maybe he'll try out at receiver and then be an afterthought. But I guarantee you he's an Ohio State product, an afterthought in 4 years.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
He's doing a lot. But he's doing better in 2 quarters than a lot of quarterbacks do in 4.
He'll be a career loser.
He might have better than 3 years. Then we got Miami at San Francisco. All right, San Francisco hurt me last week. They just played like crap. However, Jimmy G's coming back, boys. Jimmy G, he's a gorgeous man. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything spectacular. He just wins. So that guy in high school that like me, that everybody wanted to be like. That's Jimmy G. All right, like he walks into a room and wins. It's like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's nothing special about him, but he wins games, and he knocked up 2 of the top 3 supermodels in America or in the world. So it's like, hey, this is the guy you hate, like whatever. But yeah, so San Francisco is going to roll. It's just going to be crazy. Now, Denver at New England. That game got shifted to Monday night because New England's obviously out there partying, catching the Rona. Don't know what that's all about. But New England's going to beat Denver. It's in New England. With all how banged up New England is, they still made it a game. If Julian Edelman didn't drop that pass to Honey Badger, that game would have been real tight. The refs were terrible. In fact, they were the shitbag titty fuck of the week to Bob Menry. All right, the whole reffing corps was. If you don't watch Bob Menry, I tag him in every one of our posts because he is hilarious.
Start watching him. My God, that man is funny.
But anyways, we got after that we got Indy at Cleveland. Now, Cleveland's a 1.5 point dog. All right, and I think that it's at Cleveland. I think that line's going to change as the money starts to flow. If you can get in right now, I take Cleveland at 1.5. I take Cleveland outright. I think they found something in Dallas. I think they gelled a little bit. I think they need that little cockiness because they're a bunch of one-uppers that are on that team. So Odell scored like 5 touchdowns last year. He scored 3 touchdowns last week. So he starts getting confident. He starts getting cocky. There's some athletes that you want cocky, and that's one of them. You don't want him pouting. You want him cocky. So watch out for that game. Again, Indianapolis has the better quarterback, but Cleveland's got a ton of talent. And being a dog, I'm going with Cleveland on that one. All right, Giants at Dallas. Now, pay attention. I know we ripped the Dallas fans pretty hard. This is probably the only time you hear it all year. Dallas is a lock. All right, Dallas at -9 against the Giants. Dallas's defense is one of the worst things that we've ever seen. Now, they're banged up. They are, so that's kind of an excuse because in the NFL, when you lose a couple of Pro Bowlers, that hurts, right? If you lose a couple of guys that aren't Pro Bowlers, the guy behind them is pretty much the same level. But when you lose a Pro Bowler, that hurts, all right? The whole scheming and all that kind of stuff. But Dallas, the only offense bad enough to make their defense look okay is the Giants. So I have a feeling that Dallas wins by about 20, all right? And so that's the way that's going to run. That's a lock. So I actually have 4 locks. All right, that's 3. I'm going crazy this week. Minnesota at Seattle. Seattle -7. All right, I wouldn't mess with this game either because Minnesota, you don't know which one's going to show up. But I'm going to go with Seattle. They got Russell Wilson. He's awesome. Their defense is stepping up, even though they get picked on a little bit. But that's also because their offense keeps scoring. So their offense keeps scoring. The defense is back on the field. But if it gets into a slugfest, their defense will be okay. And Seattle's going to take that game pretty easily. Now, to the Monday night game. The Chargers of L.A. at New Orleans. New Orleans right now is 7.5 point favorite. the money, Vegas is kind of going off of their starting Herbert, great rookie quarterback for the Chargers, had a great game in Tampa Bay. All right. So what? You're going down to the Superdome. He's going to be nervous. He's playing in a big dome that's going to be empty. All right. It's going to suck. But the Saints, they're going to roll them. All right. They're going to beat them bad. All right. So that's a lock. That's my definite lock. All right. Take New Orleans -7.5. All right. And that's a lock. So 14 parlay. I got Carolina. Then I got Baltimore. Then I got Dallas and New Orleans. Now you take all the points on that, a $25 parlay going to pay you a lot of money. So go ahead and take that. But bet on those 4 locks, see what you got to do. And those are my picks. And other than that, you guys got anything else?
Nope, that's it. Don't be surprised if Bill and I go 6 for 6 on this card. Even though we didn't know it, we did our homework. So if you're gonna gamble, you're better off gambling with us. So you're lucky for another freebie.
Bill, before I give you the last word, another shout out to our sponsors with Ventura Training Athletics, Gold Star Century Team, not our sponsor, but we love them. We got 10th Mountain Whiskey. We got Cardinal Financial. Remember to watch us on Saturday. We got another apparel company guy coming on. He's going to come on and talk about he's a veteran, so we don't care if he's selling shirts and hats just like us, but he's a veteran, so we're going to promote his business for him. And he's doing some great things. He has some great advice for guys that are getting out and stuff like that. So come on the show on Saturday. Watch us. Have a great time. King of Battle, the champ, gets the last word.
Hey, again, guys, if I did a lot of research on this, actually, if you check the top MMA odds bettors and callers and sports writers, the best one out there is sitting at like 68%, picking just the main fight. Joe and I are over 90% on entire fight cards. The fact that one of us goes 4 for 5 and we call it a failure, that's both of us. We both have done that. You got to bet with us. We're sitting at over 90% on entire fight cards. So if you follow us, you will win, because Joe and I are just killing it. And again, we all agreed on these fights. And I also wouldn't be surprised if he went 6 for 6. I think we're going at least 5 for 6 for sure.
All right, there you have it. See you guys on Saturday.